Hey everybody, welcome and good morning. I almost couldn't go live there. I kept getting an error message that live streaming is not available. Of course it is. Live streaming's got to be available. Good morning to everybody. Happy Monday morning. It looks like you've made it through the weekend. I did too, and I feel pretty grateful about that. Hope everybody's doing well. Put in the comments there. Let me know what you're doing today. Let me know what your work week looks like. Let me know what you got accomplished over the weekend. I want to hear from each and every one of you. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's a big red button down there. If you haven't subscribed, when you click it, it'll turn gray, and then you'll want to turn on all bell notifications. That way you'll be notified every time I go live, or if I upload a video, which is pretty much every day of the week, loud and clear in Savannah, you betcha. I whack that like button first. Thank you so much, James. I do appreciate that. He always reminds me, you got to hit that like button there, guys. Please do that. Love to get your comments. I love to get your questions. Please put those in that chat section right there. We're still trying to truck towards that 5,000 subscribers, getting very close to it. So I guess it's going to be any day now. But love to have you subscribe if you would. Let other people know about the channel, get them to subscribe. That would also be very awesome. And today I'm going to talk about playlist. However, if you've got any questions whatsoever about starting, running, and growing online businesses, you can certainly put that in the chat section. I will answer any of those questions that I know the answer to, of course. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to be honest and tell you I don't know the answer. But playlists are pretty amazing, and you're going to see why in just a second. It was something I didn't know about in the beginning, and I didn't do it for years until I finally figured it out, but we're going to talk about that today. But it's great to see everybody here today. You know, be thankful that you are here. And I don't mean here with me, I mean that you're here alive today because, you know, over the weekend there were shootings, there were people who died of coronavirus, there were car accidents, there were so many things that happened, and we're just lucky to be here. I know we are. I read The Everything Bubble by David McRae. That's interesting. I don't know about that. It's called The Everything Bubble, guys. Check that out. James is a pretty well-read person. He's a pretty sharp guy, so I'm sure he's recommending something really good. I have a gratitude app that pops up on my phone every morning, and it reminds me to be grateful, and it gives you reasons for it, and it gives you a little saying, so I look at that every day. So that's what I use. But let's talk about this playlist thing. I think it's pretty important, and you know, before I even get into why it's important and all that stuff, I want to talk about how you actually create these playlists. You got to know how to do that. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go into your content section in your YouTube studio, and you're going to find the video that you want on your playlist. Okay, so under the video you're going to click the add to button. It's like the three lines and a plus symbol, so you're going to want to do that. And then from that drop down menu, choose create a new playlist, or you can add it to a playlist you already had if you're new to this, so you aren't going to have a playlist. Then you want to enter the name of the playlist. So for example, on my channel I talk about starting, running, growing online businesses. However, I may have one on, you know, how to put meta tags in WordPress, or how to use themes in WordPress, or do something else in WordPress. So that would be a WordPress playlist. I would put it in that WordPress playlist. And then you're going to choose the channel privacy settings for it. Do you want it public? Do you want it unlisted? Do you want it private? I would assume you'd want it public because we're talking about getting more subscribers and more views. And then all you do is click create. Now, this does several things for you, but the main thing it does is it gives you two URLs. So you're going to have the URL, in other words, the address, the web address of that video, and then you're going to have another web address of that video in a playlist. So what you've essentially done is you've doubled the amount of SEO you can get out of this one video. Plus it keeps people watching, but I'll get into all this stuff. The whole process can be done like in a minute or less. It's really simple to do. So let's talk about this playlist thing first. A playlist basically is nothing more than a group of videos that are created by you or somebody else on YouTube, whether you are a YouTube viewer or creator. It's just a way to organize videos with similar characteristics. So that's all a playlist really is, but they're super important. If you've created any music playlists in the past, it's the same concept with the videos. For example, I have playlists of different things like cooking. I have playlists of travel. I have playlists of restaurants that I like to go into and watch those videos. Playlists really make it easy for viewers to find videos they want to watch with a few simple clicks, and you don't have to go through a whole lot. All right, so why should you create a playlist? That's the important thing. As of October 2016, YouTube has more than 1 billion users on the social media platform every month. Now, going back even further to October 2015, YouTube proved itself to be the go-to social media source for video. Everybody goes there for video. They just do, okay? So every single day, Americans spend an aggregate of 8,061 years watching YouTube. That's a lot, okay? So every single day, and that's just in the United States. That's not worldwide. So that's pretty darn amazing. So with that much consumption, it makes it sense that YouTube users have plenty of videos to choose from. In fact, there are over 400 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. Think about that. That's crazy. Playlists are helpful for those using YouTube to conduct research, or anything you want to create the playlist for. The top 4 benefits for YouTube playlists for viewers. Okay, so what do you do when you stumble on a video you really want to watch? Okay, but it runs for, let's say, 20 minutes and you don't have 20 minutes, you only have 2 minutes. What are the chances you'll find it again? You better hope you remember the search terms you used, right, to find that video. So saving videos to playlists ensures that you can find them later on. So this is an individual doing it, and we also have somebody who's a creator doing it too. In addition, you can organize those videos in a way that YouTube creators do. Many YouTube viewers create playlists. It provides the same advantage of music playlist, like for MP3s or anything like that. Now, for creators, excuse me, if you're a YouTube creator, having a channel without playlists is like running a candy store that doesn't have any shelves or boxes or containers. Nothing is organized. It's just all over the place, okay? And people are going to have a really hard time watching your videos, so we don't want to do that. Let me get a little sip here. Okay, the candy is all there, okay? If you have a candy store with no shelves. And I'm sure it's delicious, but it's impossible for customers to find the one that they want. If you have a YouTube channel, there are 4 benefits to consider, especially if YouTube is part of your social marketing strategy, okay? Number 1, you're going to be able to increase your exposure in YouTube search results. It's not just videos that come up in search results, it's also playlists. So think about that. If you have a video on your channel and it's in a playlist, you doubled your chances. So like if you were to type in excuse me, kitchen equipment reviews into the YouTube channel bar, the very first thing that comes up in my search was equipment reviews playlist on the American Test Kitchen YouTube channel. Okay, so without having a playlist, that company would lose that top spot in the search results. Sure, some of the videos would come up maybe 3rd or 4th or whatever, but they would miss that top spot. Not only does the YouTube playlist give America's Test Kitchen the top spot, but I can also see it has 52 videos in that playlist, so it's going to make me more likely to want to go to their channel, go to their playlist and look at them. This encourages me, and I see as it has a review I want, as well as other kitchen reviews I may be interested in. So I'm going to probably go to that playlist. Creating playlists with strong focus on keywords excuse me, gives your content more oomph out there, okay, and more people see it. All right, the second thing, showing YouTube viewers your channel in depth, content, and value. If you don't add playlists to your YouTube channel, it's going to look pretty blank to everybody. It really will. Not only will your channel appear unprofessional, but it'll also look like you're lacking in content, which you may not be. Like I have almost 1,000 videos now, 900 and some odd videos. And if that's the case, what reason does anyone have to subscribe to your channel if it's not organized and doesn't look professional? So you got to think about that. And guys, feel free, I know I'm talking about playlists, but if you have any other questions, any other ideas you want to put in that chat section, put them in there. I'm looking down, I'm watching that. So I'm on top of that too, don't worry about it. When you start creating your YouTube channel, one playlist will automatically be added to your profile. This is the uploads playlist, which shows just 5 videos you've added to your channel if you've only got 5, okay? Without playlist, new visitors to your page won't see anything underneath your YouTube banner besides just your video. That's it. That's all they're going to see. But in comparison, if you go to a channel that has playlist, they're going to show all the different playlists below that channel. Okay, so they have a whole lot more stuff they can look at. Number 3, helping others navigate and find YouTube videos. The second benefit of YouTube playlist, and I mentioned that, help channel visitors see the range of content you have. This is especially beneficial for the awareness stage, when people are discovering your brand in search results. You know how it is, like you'll watch a video on a channel and you're like, who is that person? Then you watch another video, and if it's easy to go through that channel and it's organized, you're going to be more likely to hang around on that channel. Imagine that I'm already familiar with America's Test Kitchen and I want to find a video on his channel with, let's say they had 10 playlists with over 50 videos, or just one of those playlists. It's easy for the content to get lost. Now I put all of my videos in playlists. Every single one is in a playlist, and I keep adding playlists, so I have many playlists. As displayed on the screen when you're going to a channel, you'll see this organization. It's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to do that. So you want to think of YouTube playlist as a form of navigation for your channel. If people can't find what they want quickly, it's a safe bet that they're going to leave your channel and look someplace else. Do you organize your playlist by keywords? 100%, yeah. You do have to do that. You got to have keywords in your playlist. It's super important to do that. And when you're thinking about naming your playlist, guys, make sure the title of that playlist is optimized for SEO. Make sure you do that. Super important, and I'm glad you brought that up, James. Number 4, it's a source of content for YouTubers short on time. That's basically what it is. So if you're wondering why I'm focusing on, let's say, America's Test Kitchen, because the advice for your YouTube channel is so very important. So here it is. The former director of YouTube for America Test Kitchen and former producer of her own production company. Not only that, but that producer is also the senior director of brand strategy and innovation at Combs and Zimberg Marketing Consulting. So that person has got a little bit of experience. If they're doing it and you're not doing it, what does that tell you? And I want to read what she says. I pulled it up on the screen here. Playlists straight from YouTube certification school, and they are something anyone can do. YouTube playlists give you an especially helpful solution when people are starting out and resources are strained, which they always are. Resources are always strained. What is the solution? Curated playlists. So you can use curated playlists and you can put other people's videos in there. I don't do that. I don't put any in there, but you can certainly do that in the beginning. I'm at the point now I don't need to do that, so I don't have anybody else's playlist in there. But that is something you can do. So how to create playlists on YouTube. Here's a step-by-step thing you want to do. You want to find a video for your YouTube playlist. Okay, so find one in your group. It's going to start off with just one video. Begin by finding video YouTube that you'd like to include in your playlist. If you're creating a playlist using your own content, you want to click on your channel icon in the upper right corner. On the drop-down menu that appears, choose My Channel. Once you've done that, you create the YouTube playlist from that particular video. So you got to start with one video. Once you select your video already, click on the Add To button, and it's 3 horizontal lines in the plus sign. And then you're either going to add it to a playlist you already have, or you're going to create a new playlist. You'll see a little plus sign there, and you can create a new playlist. Then you want to name your playlist. And like I said, you want, and James brought this up, you want to do some research on the name of that playlist before you create it. You can use a maximum of 150 characters, and I would suggest you doing that. Max it out. Why wouldn't you want to, right? You want to accurately describe the content. You also want to grab the viewer's attention so that they do want to click on the playlist. Why should they click on your playlist versus somebody else's? You want to include keywords, which is what he brought up. The words people are most likely to search for. Then you want to enter the title where instructed to do so. Then what you want to do is set the playlist privacy settings on YouTube. After you named your playlist, it's time to choose your privacy settings. The setting appears at the same time you name your playlist, and it will determine who on YouTube can actually see your playlist. So maybe you want it private, maybe you just want it for a certain group of people that you're dealing with, but you want to make sure you get that setting correct. To bring up the privacy settings, all you got to do is click on the drop down arrow. Once you do so, the 3 privacy options will be listed. The first one, let me talk about all these real quick. The first one is public. So if you want your videos to come up in search results, this is the setting for you. This is the setting you use in YouTube marketing strategy. Use the public setting for maximum exposure for your videos and YouTube channels. The next one is unlisted. Now what that means is your YouTube channel will not come up in search results. So if people are searching for those terms, they're not going to see it. But you can share it with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever, and customers. For example, let's say you have a channel with webinars and you want to share it with your prospects, but you don't want to make it public for competitors to see. You could send prospects this unlisted link. Now, somebody's going to say, well, couldn't they just share that link? Yes, they could. So, keep in mind that that happens. Let me get a sip here real quick. And if you're smart, really, and you've got competitors, I'm on all my competitors' email lists, so I know what they're doing. So you can get on your competitors' email list too. The last one is private. Use a private for those channels that you're creating for personal use. These are the channels you don't intend on sharing with anybody. Okay, so they have to actually sign into Google to actually view it, and that's the only way they're going to be able to do it. You notice that the YouTube automatically creates a list of videos you've liked. This list is private, but it's good to know anytime you like a video, you'll be able to find it again. So you want to add your videos to your YouTube playlist. Now that you've created your playlist, it's time to add the videos. Do this by following the same process that I told you about in step 2. This time when you click the YouTube Save To button, the playlist you just created will appear. So they're going to be there and you can pick from them. Simply tick the box and the video will be added to that particular playlist. That's all you got to do. Now, you can add bulk videos to your YouTube playlist. If you don't want to add videos one at a time, there is another option. Instead of going to the playlist video, you can add them directly from your YouTube playlist. When you're logged into YouTube channel, you'll see all of your videos listed under the library part on the left hand side of the page. And then all you've got to do is click on the playlist you would like to add the videos to and edit. The playlist will appear on the next screen and you can click the edit button found on your YouTube channel. So it's really that simple to do. Playlist, guys, are so very important. If you haven't used these yet, really even for your own personal use, if you want to find stuff, you can do it. But certainly for your channel, if you've got videos on your channel and they're not in a playlist, man, that's a problem. Now here's something interesting. I get asked this question: can you add the same YouTube video to multiple playlists? Once you start creating YouTube playlists, you'll realize the endless ways you can organize your content. Sometimes a video will be relevant for multiple playlists. So yes, we add videos to multiple playlists. For example, the playlist that I'm creating for, let's say, using dog videos, okay? I could create a playlist with pug videos featuring others, pet therapy dogs, or special pug mail videos. So I could do several different playlists and that video can be in there. Now keep in mind, every time I do that, that creates another URL. So I could have a video and it has a URL that goes to it, but I put it in 4 more playlists. Now I've got 5 URLs. Look what that's done for my SEO, and it's all with one video. So it's really that simple. I think everybody should be using them. I didn't use them in the beginning because I didn't know about the importance of it. And that's the point of me doing these trainings every morning, is so that I can show you the importance of this stuff. It's so very important. It was funny, and put any questions in there, guys. I'm kind of winding down, but I've got a few last thoughts. My wife and I were talking last night, and we had worked, pretty much most of the day. She was doing various things. I was doing various things. We got something to eat. It was after dinner, and I said, "Are you going to work anymore this evening?" And she looks at me and she says, "Well, I've got things I could do." And I said, "Well, yeah, we've always got things we could do. I mean, that never ends. It's endless. When you work online, it is literally endless. But it's only endless if you learn a whole lot of things to do." I remember going back to 2013, And I had started online in 2009, and I had a survival food company then, and I still do, same one. But back then, that's all I really focused on was that survival food company. And we had a point in 2013, our sales were down. And I remember being in my warehouse in Poway, California, and I was sitting there, and sales were down, and we were talking back and forth, and she'd come in my office, and we were talking about what to do to get sales up again. And I said, I don't even know what to do. I have no clue what to do. I just know they're down, and I didn't know much about digital marketing. I had started my company and I was making money and all that, but I didn't know what I could do to improve things. I had no clue. And now I've learned so much over the years that it's like every day I know a million things I could do. A million things I could do. I mean, I just sit there all day long and just work and work and work and work. So now what I do is I try to focus on the things that are going to bring me the best results, you know, in total, let's say, views or sales or whatever it is I'm going after, and the quickest results. I also devote some of my time to long-term things. When I'm shooting this video right now, this is a long-term thing. I'm not going to get quick results from doing this video this morning. I know that. I know long-term, it's going to help build my brand and my business. James says, are there rules for using brand names like Amazon on YouTube? Yes and no. I mean, I can do a Amazon review of products, and I don't have a problem with that. You don't ever want to give the impression that you are sponsored or backed by any brand that you're not. So if I were to say I'm going to do Amazon review on cameras and the best cameras on Amazon, I would make certain to say I am not sponsored, and Amazon does not endorse any video I'm doing here. Okay, so I let them know that. Same thing with my Facebook Ads University course. I have a blurb at the bottom that says I'm not endorsed by Facebook, nor does Facebook recognize me, and Facebook is their own branded name, so I don't, use any. I don't use it. Okay, so you do have to have that disclaimer in there. You don't ever want to give the impression that somebody's backing a video you're doing, and they're not. Okay, so that's super important that you do that. Yeah, so that's what I've got for you guys today. Playlist. Simple, right? It's a simple thing. Is it something you can fill up a half hour with? Yeah, I could fill up a couple of hours with playlist if I really wanted to, but that's not what I want to do. I got to get my work done today. What did you guys think about playlist? Do you think it's going to be helpful to you? Do you see how you could take one video and have 4 or 5 different, links to that video because it's in different places? I mean, it's pretty helpful, and it's kind of a way of like multiplying your SEO for your channel by putting in all these different playlists. And I recommend that you don't just make 10 playlists and then you're done with it. I recommend that every few days you make another playlist and see if those videos that you've already put in some playlist will go into that playlist. Make sure they are something that fits in the playlist. Don't put one that's for SEO and it's really about riding your bicycle. I mean, make sure it actually fits. Also, to remind you, in case you've forgotten, have you subscribed? Have you hit that button down there yet? Have you turned on bell notifications? It's so important that you do that, guys. Turn on all bell notifications. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. Do you use AdWords to get views for your channel? What I use more than anything, James, is Tubebuddy. AdWords I'll use more for ads, actual ads. But Tubebuddy I use for my channel because it actually looks at YouTube. AdWords looks at Google search, which does include YouTube, but it's an aggregate of everything. So when I'm doing something on YouTube, I'm looking to find keywords that people are searching for on YouTube. If you want to get Tubebuddy, in the description after this is not live anymore, it's recorded, you're going to find a link to Tubebuddy in the description and you can get it for free. It's a great software. I highly recommend it. If you use my affiliate link and you decide later on you want to get the paid or you want to get the paid now, and it's really cheap, I would recommend it. You can get 30% off by using my link. So I would recommend doing that. AdWords is really primarily for doing stuff just on Google and not really for YouTube. So I wouldn't recommend it for that. So yeah. So I appreciate the time you guys have spent with me today. We're approaching that 30-minute mark. I apologize for not getting started sooner. Every time I was clicking live, it was saying live is not available now. It's like, what do you mean it's not available? It's got to be available. Live's always available, right? I got to have my live, got to have it. Got to talk to people. It's super important. So guys, let's see. Yes, I learned about the playlist importance. Thanks. Peace and blessings always, everyone. Well, great, James. James is a wealth of knowledge. In case you guys don't know him, we're going to make him famous. Drove a truck for, I don't know, what, over 50 years, James, something like that, I think it was. I can't remember exactly how many years, but he's a very well-read person, very intelligent man, very kind person too. He's been very nice to me and my group, and I really do appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for showing up today. I really appreciate having everybody here. I appreciate when you watch these, and I know sometimes people can't come in live, so they're going to watch this after this was live. But I do appreciate you viewing the channel. I do appreciate you supporting the channel. That means a lot to me. And make sure you subscribe. We're so close to that 5,000 now, man. It's really getting me. I want to get to that 5,000. We're going to have a little live celebration party when I hit that 5,000. And then we're going to go for 10, and then we're going to go for 50, and we're going to go for 100,000. I'm going to keep growing it because it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate being with you guys. I really do. James Breen, 49 years. So, all right, so he drove it. Why didn't you do the last year? Why didn't you do one more year, James? One more year. No, that's great. 49 years is great. Some people don't even live that long. And he was somebody who did a job that long. And obviously drove safely, or he wouldn't be in that position for 49 years, and got our goods and services to us. I don't know what he drove, but we certainly need truck drivers. I mean, without trucks, America stops. We saw that during COVID when they weren't allowing some trucks in and out of certain cities, and there was no groceries, there was nothing. There was all supplies and lumber, everything. I mean, everything is transported by trucks. Probably one of the most important jobs in the country that's never recognized. You just go, oh, truck drivers. Truck drivers are super important, guys. I mean, like, mega important. Everything you have was probably transported by a truck. I mean, ain't no airplanes landing in front of your house or in front of the stores. There's no trains landing in front of a Home Depot parking lot. A truck gets it there. Trucks get things everywhere. Super important, and we appreciate your service there. That certainly is a service, James. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back tomorrow. I don't have it scheduled yet, but I'll have it scheduled by the end of the day. I'll have the entire week scheduled by the end of the day, so you can see the subject matter that we're going to talk about. Thanks for being here, and I'll